this journey we'll arrive, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize, victory in sight with all our might, with all our might, with all our might.
Hi guys, and this is THFC Till I Die Home, Tottenham past, present, and the exciting future under Ange, and this is your predicted lineup for that game tomorrow for the first Premier League game of 2025, and of course it is at the marvellous Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where the best team in the land play. But there's not a lot to go on. There's not a lot of players to pick. We've still got loads of players out injury. Destiny Udogi's now part of that injury list, but more of that later, of course, in the pre-match show. Or if you have already watched it, this is going out after the pre-match show, then you would have known about the injury list. There's also a sickness bug running through Tottenham at the moment, so the lineup could change from what I picked to what actually starts the game tomorrow at 12:30. So, we don't know. There is a sickness bug, but I tell you, let's get into it. Let's crack into what I have picked, and I have gone with this. I have gone really with Foster in goal. We can't make any changes today. Foster is like a mainstay unless we buy somebody in the January window, which I think we're going to have to. Vicario won't be back until the end of February, beginning of March. That's what we're looking at. So I think we have to. If Foster gets injured, who do we go for? Brendan Austin or Whiteman? We need an experienced keeper in there. We need a backup for Foster, or somebody actually to take over from Foster, maybe as well, to step in, maybe come in to be the permanent number 2 under Vicario. I've gone with the same back four. The only change from the back four is called Jed Spence has now served his suspension, and he's coming for the injured Destiny Udogi. And it's really weird because Ange said in his press conference today that if it's just circumstances, if Spence didn't get shown the red card against Nottingham Forest, then he would have played against Wolves. That would have let Udogi rest. But because Spence got sent off, we had to start with Udogi, and Udogi got an injury because he's overtired and overplayed. Again, this comes back to we got a small squad, and this comes back to our transfer window really biting us. I've gone through 2 holding midfields of Basuma and Papasarkos. Bentancur is also suspended for this game as well. So I think that's logically the only 2. The 3 in the attacking midfielders, Madison in that holding role. Tuchel is coming to Tottenham tomorrow to watch the game. So James Madison will really want to put on the show for himself, and also Archie Gray as well. But he's been playing absolutely fantastic in centre back. That is not his position. But Madison tomorrow has to turn up, has to show who he's about, what he's about, and really put in a performance and start the rest of this year, starting playing the way we know he can play. He hasn't been playing well. He hasn't been coming up with the goods. It is not good enough. He needs to show why we spent the big money on him. Of course, on the wings, we've got Kulu, who's lots of speculation at the moment that AC Milan, or I think it's AC Milan or an Italian club, is going to put a bid in for Kulu in this window. Now, in my mind, if we were to sell Kulu, I'm not saying we are. I'm not saying it is going to happen. But if we did, I think that would be absolutely criminal. He's been our best player this season so far. He's been our most creative player so far. And he's starting on the right instead of Brendan Johnson, which I think is a very good move from Ange Postecoglou. I think he offers you more out there, and he puts more work in, and he does work better with Pedro Porro than Brendan Johnson does. Brendan Johnson doesn't do the defensive work. He goes hiding in games. As much as I love Brendan Johnson, by the way, and I really do, and I think Brendan Johnson, if he applies himself to his craft, learn how to do the defensive side of the game and work on his attacking side of the game, taking on players, getting crosses in, doing what he needs to do, I think we will have a very good player on our hands. But he's got prepared to put the work in, and at the moment he's not putting the work in. He may be our club's top goal scorer, but I don't know if it's him or Madison. Maybe let me know in the comments, guys. But I just feel Kulu is a better fit out the wide there. Then Sonny as well, who's now out of contract. He can sign for other teams as well. We don't know what's happening with Sonny. We don't know if the club have actually already agreed the extension now. That could break between now and the end of the window that he signed a new extension. It was like the last time. I think they agreed it a month before they announced it. So we still don't know. It is slightly worrying that nothing's come out of Tottenham yet. He does want to sign in. He does want to stay at Spurs. Spurs is in Ball's court. They have the right to, you know, do this extension, which they should do personally, because I think with the young Yok coming in from South Korea as well, he's going to need Sonny around for the next year to look after him, showing the ropes, sort of be a guiding father figure for him at Tottenham. Also, he is our captain. He's our talisman. He's the man who's been at Spurs the longest. He's the man to lead this new generation of Spurs players into the next phase of into the next phase of glory if we get there. But for me, the longer this drags on, the longer we're not hearing anything about Sonny signing a new contract or Tottenham extending Sonny's contract by 1 year, the more speculation is going to be out there. The more speculation is he going to Turkey for Fenerbahce under Mourinho? Is he going to join Harry Kane at Bayern Munich? Is he going to go back to South Korea to end his career at home? This is going to rumble on and rumble on and rumble on. And I think Tottenham need to nip this in the bud one way or the other. Either Sonny's got to come out and say and commit himself, say, look, I want to stay at Spurs. And I know he does. He loves the club. And I think it'd be again, another travesty if we were to let Kulu and Sonny both leave the club. I think it'd be absolutely scandalous. And I'm sure Ange does not want that to happen. I can understand there's rumours coming out, especially with Kulu, that he's disillusioned with the start Tottenham have had this year. And yes, it hasn't been perfect. But we got senior players out. We haven't got a squad big enough to cope with the injuries. So, there's a lot of different permutations. You've got to look at where we are and how we're playing and where we are at the moment. I don't think it's all on Ange Postecoglou. I think injuries play a part. I think the transfer windows play a part. And I think it's just a combination of different acts coming together. And now we've got this illness bug that's going around the club. We don't know who's ill. There was a few players. He didn't say specifically who was out not trained today. So we don't know. So the only way we are going to know is by the lineup tomorrow. And then up front, of course, it is Dum Solanke, who's worked so hard up front for Tottenham with so little service. And with Tuchel tomorrow, this is a chance for Solanke as well to put his name towards the England squad as well and towards the World Cup qualifiers. And I think he's really proved this season the amount of work he does off the ball, the amount of work he does tracking back as well and picking the ball up from deep. He's not just a 6-yard striker. He will come back and do the hard yards, he's been absolutely fantastic. And he's running himself into the ground. We've got nobody to give him a break. We've got no other replacement to give him a rest. And with Richie hopefully coming back now for the next game, we think for Liverpool, maybe not even for Liverpool, because apparently in today that Richarlison and who was the other player, one of the other players will report for training next week. So Solanke does need help up there. So maybe this January window, go for a striker, go for a defender. I think the midfielder will go for a striker, defender, and a goalkeeper. But if you can get a goalkeeper and a striker in, I think the rest, you could leave to the summer. I think by the time Romero and Van der Ven are back, and I think you do have cover there for Drankerson and Archie Gray. But this is the 11th, so let me know what you think, guys. Let me know if you agree or if you disagree. Let me know what you think the score's going to be tomorrow. I'm going for a 2-1 win. I think we are going to start the year with a bang. I think the players, with the time off they had, the little time off they had, would have done them the world of good, mentally and physically as well. But we start the new year with a clean slate. We start it normally. We start it as we mean to go on. It's a new football year, new football calendar. But look, I'm looking forward to the game. You got your pre-match course at 8, and then tomorrow you got Tottenham Team Talks on at midday, and then you got the watch along starting at 12 as well. And then after the match, we're doing final score where we go over the game, what we just saw. So you've got 3 shows tomorrow, and every match day is going to be the same between now and the end of the season. We're changing our schedule up a little bit. So listen, guys, please like, please subscribe. Let's get the march to 3K going. This is the lineup tomorrow. Thank you all for watching. And yeah, happy new year to you all. Come on, you Spurs. In Big Ange we trust. We never stop. We're coming back.